10 Fastest Muscle Cars You Don't Want to Miss, 1964 to 1970. In this video, we're counting down the 10 fastest muscle cars from 1964 to 1970. 1970. The golden era of horsepower. These machines didn't just rule the streets, they built a legacy. We'll cover legends like the Pontiac GTO, Dodge Charger, Ford Mustang Boss 429, and many more. If you love big engines, aggressive styling, and that unmistakable V8 roar, you're in for a ride. Let's hit the gas and dive into the countdown. 1. 1964 Pontiac GTO. The Pontiac GTO is often called the first true muscle car. It was a game-changer, packing a 389 cubic-inch V8 with 325 horsepower. With the tri-power setup, it produced up to 348 horsepower. This beast could hit 60 miles per hour in just over 6 seconds, blazing fast for the time. It featured a lightweight mid-size body, making the power-to-weight ratio incredible. The GTO also introduced aggressive styling with dual hood scoops and a split grille. Its affordability made it a hit with young drivers. In 1964, it redefined what American performance looked like. It inspired every carmaker to build their own muscle monster. Simply put, the GTO started it all. The GTO was originally an optional package for the Pontiac Tempest. Its name stood for Gran Turismo Omologato, borrowed from European racing terminology. Pontiac engineers, including John DeLorean, bypassed corporate rules to bring this car to life. The GTO's success proved there was a huge market for powerful, affordable performance cars. It quickly became a cultural icon, often referenced in music, movies, and magazines. Today, the 1964 GTO is a prized collectible and a symbol of the muscle car era's birth. 2. 1967 Chevrolet Camaro Z28. The 67 Z28 was Chevrolet's answer to the Ford Mustang. It came with a high-revving 302 cubic-inch V8 rated at 290 horsepower. But it was underrated. Real-world performance showed it could produce well over 300 horsepower. Designed for Trans Am racing, it handled corners just as well as it ran the quarter-mile. The Z28 featured front disc brakes and a close-ratio 4-speed manual. Its lightweight frame made it incredibly agile and quick. 0 to 60 came in under 6.5 seconds. It was raw, loud, and loved by enthusiasts. The 67 Z28 remains a track-ready legend even today. The Z28 option was a secret weapon for buyers who knew what they wanted: pure performance. Unlike other Camaros, it wasn't advertised heavily and was mainly built for homologation. Only 602 units were made in 1967, making it one of the rarest Camaros ever. It came standard with heavy-duty suspension, quick-ratio steering, and dual exhaust. The 302 engine was a small-block screamer, built by combining a 327 block with a 283 crankshaft. It was happiest at high RPMs, making it perfect for road racing. Visually, it could be identified by the unique Z28 badging and optional racing stripes. Inside, it was all business, no luxury, just function. The Z28's real magic was how balanced it felt on twisty roads and tight tracks. It laid the foundation for the Camaro's performance legacy and still commands respect among collectors and racers alike. 3. 1968 Dodge Charger RT426 Hemi. The 1968 Charger RT was more than just a muscle car. It was a cultural icon. Under the hood was the legendary 426 HEMI V8 with 425 horsepower and 490 pound-feet of torque. It could run a quarter-mile in the mid-1300s, an incredible feat in its day. The fastback design with hidden headlights made it a style icon, too. Its performance made it dominant both on the streets and the drag strip. The RT package brought heavy-duty suspension and performance tires. With a 4-speed manual, it was a true driver's car. It gained further fame thanks to movie appearances like Bullitt. To this day, it's one of the most sought-after muscle cars. Raw power never looked this good. The RT stood for Road Track, and it truly lived up to the name with a perfect blend of power and style. The 426 Hemi engine, originally developed for NASCAR, was known as the Elephant engine due to its size and strength. Only a small number of Chargers were optioned with the HEMI, making them extremely rare and valuable today. The car's muscular lines, recessed grille, and flying buttress roofline gave it an aggressive, unmistakable look. Inside, it offered both comfort and performance, with bucket seats and optional rally gauges. The rear taillight panel stretched across the back, adding to its bold appearance. When Steve McQueen chased one in Bullitt, it cemented the Charger's place in pop culture history. Despite its size, it handled well for a full-bodied car thanks to a stiffened chassis. It was built to go fast in a straight line, but didn't disappoint in corners either. The 1968 Charger RT wasn't just a car, it was a statement on wheels. 4. 1969 Ford Mustang Boss 429. The Boss 429 was Ford's street-legal race car. It housed a massive 429 cubic-inch V8 built for NASCAR. Officially rated at 375 horsepower, the real number was closer to 500. The car needed major modifications just to fit the engine under the hood. It was hand-built, and only around 1,350 units were made. The Boss could sprint from 0 to 60 in about 5.3 seconds. It had a unique suspension setup for high-speed stability. With a clean, aggressive look, it was one of the meanest Mustangs ever. It wasn't just fast, it was rare and exclusive. The Boss 429 is a muscle car holy grail. Each Boss 429 was assembled at CarCraft, a specialty facility contracted by Ford to handle the extensive modifications. To fit the massive engine, the front shock towers had to be widened and the battery relocated to the trunk. The semi-hemispherical combustion chambers gave it incredible breathing capability at high RPMs. Unlike other Mustangs, it featured a front spoiler, functional hood scoop, and a minimalist yet aggressive appearance. The car came standard, with a 4-speed manual and 3.91 limited-slip rear axle, ensuring maximum traction. Its large sway bars and reinforced suspension made it remarkably stable at high speeds. While it wasn't built for drag racing, it dominated highway pulls and long runs. The interior was relatively stripped down to keep weight down, prioritizing performance over comfort. It was more refined and balanced than many of its competitors, with a race-engineered soul. The Boss 429 remains one of the most purpose-built, badass Mustangs ever to hit the street. 5. 1969 Chevrolet Chevelle SS 396. The Chevelle SS 396 was a perfect blend of muscle and style. It featured a big block V8 engine producing up to 375 horsepower. The car could do 0 to 60 in under 6 seconds. Its aggressive body lines and dual stripes made it stand out. The SS package came with performance suspension, power brakes, and a tough 4-speed. It was one of the best all-around muscle cars of its time. Big power, good looks, and great handling made it a top choice. The Chevelle dominated the streets and local drag strips. It was affordable muscle that delivered serious thrills, a true classic in every sense. The SS-396 came in several performance levels, with the L-78 version being the most powerful. It combined brute force with everyday usability, making it popular among gearheads and families alike. The car's cowl induction hood option boosted performance by forcing cold air into the carburetor. It featured bold badging and a blacked-out grille that gave it an intimidating presence. Thanks to its mid-size dimensions, it handled better than full-size competitors. Inside, the Chevelle offered bucket seats, a center console, and optional tachometer gauges, blending comfort with sportiness. It had excellent weight distribution for a muscle car, helping it stay planted during hard acceleration. Chevrolet offered both hardtop and convertible SS-396 models, adding to its appeal. It was also a favorite platform for hot rodders and street racers looking to push performance further. The 1969 SS-396 remains a muscle car icon, raw, reliable, and always ready to race. 6. 1969 Plymouth Roadrunner 446-pack. Built for speed on a budget, the Roadrunner was all business. The 446-pack version featured 3 two-barrel carbs and made 390 horsepower. It was quicker than many more expensive cars of the era. It could run a 13-second quarter-mile with ease. The styling was simple, but the performance was wild. A heavy-duty suspension and minimal frills kept the weight down. The famous beep-beep horn added some character. It proved you didn't need luxury to go fast. The Roadrunner became a legend in the muscle car scene. Power, simplicity, and attitude all rolled into one. The 6-pack carb setup delivered massive low-end torque, making it lightning quick off the line. It was designed with a no-nonsense philosophy. All the power, none of the fluff. The A12 Performance Package added a fiberglass lift-off hood with a massive functional scoop. Steel wheels and matte black accents emphasized its stripped-down, race-ready look. It came standard with a 4.10 rear axle ratio and a heavy-duty 727 torque flight, or 4-speed manual. The Roadrunner was one of the best power per dollar values of the late 60s. It won Motor Trend's Car of the Year in 1969, proving its significance beyond just speed. Despite its bare-bones interior, it was well-engineered and incredibly reliable. Plymouth aimed it at younger buyers who wanted drag strip performance without a big price tag. The 446-pack Roadrunner became a cult hero. Fast, loud, and unapologetically tough. 7. 1970 Buick GSX Stage 1. The GSX was Buick's way of showing that luxury and speed could go hand in hand. The Stage 1455 engine made a monstrous 510 pound-feet of torque. It was officially rated at 360 horsepower, but was likely making over 400. It could beat many lighter cars thanks to its torque. The GSX came with a unique rear spoiler and racing stripes. It had one of the most comfortable interiors in any muscle car. But don't let the comfort fool you. It was brutally fast. 0 to 60 came in just over 5 seconds. Only a few hundred were made, making it rare and valuable. The GSX was the muscle car that didn't sacrifice luxury. The Stage 1 package included high-flow cylinder heads, a performance camshaft, and a specially tuned quadrajet carburetor. It produced more torque than any other American car in 1970, even beating the 426 HEMI. Despite its size and comfort, it was a serious competitor at the drag strip. The GSX was only available in 2 colors, Apollo White and Saturn Yellow, both with bold black striping. It also featured front and rear sway bars, boxed control arms, and upgraded shocks for better handling. The car's interior offered bucket seats, a rally steering wheel, and a full-gauge cluster. Buick advertised it as the gentleman's hot rod, and that description fit perfectly. It was quieter and smoother than most muscle cars, yet faster than many. Because of its limited production run, only 678 Stage 1 GSXs were built. It's a prized collectible today. The GSX proved that muscle cars didn't have to be crude to be fast. 8. 1970 Chevrolet Camaro Z28 LT1. The 1970 Z28 came with the LT1 350 cubic inch V8. It made 360 horsepower and loved to rev high. This car was built for road racing, not just straight lines. It featured a solid handling package and quick steering. The LT1 gave it a 0 to 60 time under 6 seconds. With a sleek new body, it looked aggressive and modern. It came standard, with front and rear sway bars. The Z28 balanced speed with agility, like few others. It was a favorite among serious performance drivers. A track-capable beast straight from the factory. The LT1 engine was lightweight and incredibly responsive, with solid lifters and a high lift cam for peak performance. It was mated to a close-ratio Muncie 4-speed gearbox and a 12-bolt rear axle with performance-friendly gearing. Unlike many muscle cars of the era, the Z28 was just as good in corners as it was in straight-line speed. The car's low center of gravity and tuned suspension made it a serious competitor on road courses. Its bold split front bumper and long hood gave it a distinctive, aggressive appearance. Inside, the ZD28 came with a sporty cockpit featuring high-back bucket seats and a full-gauge package. It was quieter and more refined than previous Camaros, yet still packed a serious punch. The 1970 model marked the beginning of the second-generation Camaro, with sleeker lines and improved aerodynamics. It offered the performance of a Corvette in a more practical, affordable package. To this day, the 1970 Z28 LT1 is considered one of the most well-balanced muscle cars ever built. 9. 1970 Dodge Challenger RT 426 Hemi. The Challenger RT brought Dodge's muscle car game to the next level. With the 426 Hemi engine, it made 425 horsepower and could outrun almost anything. It had an aggressive stance and wide body that screamed performance. 0 to 60 happened in around 5.5 seconds. The car offered luxury features while maintaining brutal speed. The shaker hood and bold colors made it stand out even more. It was a serious threat on the street and the strip. Built on the E-body platform, it had room and comfort, too. The Hemi Challenger is a collector's dream. Its power, presence, and perfection. The road track version came standard with performance suspension, heavy-duty brakes, and a rally instrument cluster. The 426 Hemi engine featured hemispherical combustion chambers for better airflow and maximum power. Only about 356 Hemi-equipped Challengers were built in 1970, making them extremely rare today. The shaker hood scoop wasn't just for looks, it was functional, feeding cold air directly into the massive engine. Dodge offered wild, high-impact paint colors like Plum Crazy and Hemi Orange, adding to its street presence. It was available in hardtop or convertible form, giving buyers style and options. Despite being a big car, it handled surprisingly well thanks to its wide track and tuned suspension. The interior combined muscle with comfort, high-back bucket seats, wood grain trim, and an optional pistol grip shifter. The Challenger was Dodge's answer to the Mustang and Camaro, but offered more size, power, and presence. Today, the 1970 Hemi Challenger RT is one of the most coveted muscle cars of all time. 10. 1970 Plymouth Superbird 446 pack. Built for NASCAR dominance, the Superbird was outrageous in every way. It had a giant rear wing and aerodynamic nose cone. Under the hood was a 446 pack or optional 426 Hemi. With 390 horsepower, the 446 pack could still hit 150+ miles per hour. It was one of the fastest cars of its time, on the track and road. The Superbird was only built for 1 year, making it incredibly rare. Its styling was controversial but functional. 0 to 60 in about 5.5 seconds wasn't bad for a full-size car. It scared competitors and amazed fans. The Superbird was pure muscle with wings. The massive rear wing wasn't just for show. It was wind tunnel tested to provide real downforce at high speed. The aerodynamic nose cone reduced drag significantly, giving it a top speed edge on NASCAR tracks. Plymouth had to produce nearly 2,000 units to meet NASCAR's homologation rules, making it a street-legal race car. The 446 pack version offered brutal straight-line performance at a lower cost than the ultra-rare 426 Hemi model. Inside, the Superbird retained the Roadrunner's basic interior, focusing on performance over luxury. It came with a cartoon Roadrunner horn and graphics, giving it a playful personality despite its serious speed. On the track, it was nearly unbeatable, helping Richard Petty return to Plymouth and dominate NASCAR. Many buyers found the car too wild for everyday use, which led to slow initial sales. But that rarity now makes it incredibly valuable. Its long, low nose and towering wing gave it a silhouette unlike anything else on the road. The Superbird is now a symbol of racing innovation and one of the most iconic muscle cars ever built.